Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Baratunde Thurston, comedian and blogger with Jack and Jill Politics, my own site, baratunde.com, Huffington Post, a bunch of other places. It is about 2:30 in the morning, and I am finally coming back. I was just on CNN, and I just wanted to give a little video response to the show that I was on. It was with Rick Sanchez. He has a show called Out in the Open, and the guests were me, Michael Washington, who's the head of Harlem for Obama, and Jesse Jackson. We were there to talk about Obama's victory and what it means for the black community and how African Americans have been responding. And it's such a short segment that I just wanted to add a few more thoughts that I couldn't squeeze in. Television's so fast paced. It was my first national TV experiment I've done experience. I've done a cable access show in Brockton, Massachusetts. What? Did some local TV up in Boston, but never anything quite like this. And it does move kind of fast. So just want to thank CNN for having me, first of all, having all of us and talking about this subject. We got to hang out in the green room in the back of the show. I mean, CNN is an imposing sort of presence. You get there and they've got people bringing you water, and you can have TV cameras everywhere, their little election censor. I got to talk to Michael a bit about what he does on behalf of Obama. And then Reverend Jesse Jackson shows up. And it's an historic moment to meet somebody like that. I have had my differences. I've written about those differences at Jack and Jill Politics, but I can't deny that I'm able to express those differences in large part because of what he and his contemporaries have done and ancestors before him have done to help us all get to where we are today. So we were just rapping some backstage, and that's just mad cool to be able to like rap with Jesse Jackson. So they finally brought us out on the set. And just a lot of lights, cameras, we're all mic'd up and with the earpieces and the mics, and it's very professional, very professional. And they sit us down at this table with the most uncomfortable chairs. They look like nice black leather chairs, but they flare up on the edges and they squeeze your butt. Now, I have an ample booty. I'm a black man, and these chairs are not designed for me. They're not designed for people like me. These are racist chairs, ladies and gentlemen, designed for people with narrow, thin behinds. And I can tell you from that moment, I knew things weren't going to go right. Now, things went fine, but the chairs were mad uncomfortable. As you probably saw, they led in with a segment from about maybe a 70-year-old black man down in Florida who said that he had never voted before because he didn't trust the system. He didn't think there was anything in it for him, but he was going to vote now because he had a chance to vote for Obama. And then they cut and asked me, is that true? Is that, And I was caught up in the emotion of hearing this man speak, saying that he'd never voted because he didn't see the damn point. And I was actually choked up and had to compose myself quickly because seeing Obama win in Iowa last night and hearing the reactions from friends, from family, from folks writing on Jack and Jill Politics on our blog, there was such pride, there was such honor and joy and excitement that something extraordinary had just gone down. And I saw that in that man's face on the TV there, and it was all I could do to get myself back together and express what I felt, which is when he won, I thought, I won. I think a lot of us won. And I'm not just talking about black people. I think the democratic process won with all the people that he brought in. And Michael talked a bit about how difficult it had been in Harlem. And then they brought out Reverend Jackson. And this is a very, honorable, I don't know the word. I'm tired. It's 2:40 in the morning now. Situation. Let me check the clock. All right, we're about halfway through, I guess. I was honored to have met this man. He means a lot to my family, means a lot to black people, obviously means a lot to America. And to be able to hug him on national television, I know my mom would have been proud to have seen that. But he also came out there with a message. He talked backstage about how hope was one thing and substance was another. And he repeated that point throughout his time on the show. And you want to be respectful of somebody like Jesse Jackson. I'm not going to go out there and be like, wrong. I'm not going to Bill O'Reilly someone whose efforts made it possible for me to be where I am today. That's just foolishness. So I was a little deferential, but I think he's earned at least that from all that he's done. At the same time, I think he was wrong to keep emphasizing that Obama is not just hope. He's not just talk. Iowa proves so much that he's not just talk. He's talked about a new way of doing politics. He's talked about bringing new people into the process. He's talked about getting young people and women and Republicans and independents. And he's talked about winning Iowa. And all along those ways, people said it's not going to be done. It's not possible. You should wait. You should sit down. And then he did it. He didn't talk about doing it. He did it. I think that counts for a lot. And I think the more I learn about him, the more excited I get. And that's usually not the case with a politician. Usually the more you find out about a politician, the least you like them. The more they seem kind of like assholes. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, they dress like this at night. They put on women's panties or something. You don't want to know all that stuff. With him, I find out that he has worked on behalf of death row reform in Illinois and does a whole bunch of things. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about the specific things that Obama has done, but I just wanted to add a little more context to the segment that I'm referring to. And you can find this linked. I'm going to put this video up elsewhere, but let's go to Baratunde.com and search for CNN Obama. You can find it, and I'll put the link in the description wherever. So I thought that Reverend Jackson's point, while valid that there is more to getting things done than hoping for them, really missed the mark with Obama. And as Michael Washington tried to say during the segment, this is not an either-or choice. It's not like, oh, you either vote for hope or you get things done with Reverend Jackson's way. I think we can have both things go on. And there were a few other points that I would have loved to have gotten to, but we just ran out of time. One of which was I cried this morning. When I woke up, I listened to the speech again, and I read some responses of people on our blog, and the enormity of what happened hit me. And maybe it won't go past Iowa. Who knows? This video is going to outlast this moment. So I don't know what I'm talking, what time period I'm talking to you in. But I know that moment last night, I was so moved. This was definitely a big moment. And I heard from other black people almost universally was pride, was excitement. That, we all wanted to adopt him. Like, he has about 2 million new black cousins right now. Oh, yeah, you don't know Cheryl's boy Obama? You don't know Obama? Yo, he came to the family reunion such and such a time ago. Yeah, I used to kick it with Obama back in Punahou High School in Hawaii. Yeah, you know how we roll. So there was an ownership. I think people felt, not just him, but in the society at large. There was some fear. I talked to my barber, and he was excited, but he also said, look, these two black kids just went down to Florida and got their butts beat by some racist white people just for showing up in the neighborhood. That's the same America that's going to elect a black man president? These are some deep-seated fears, etc., but it seemed like a minority voice. I think the fear that we saw people voting out of in 2004 is fading. People in Iowa were scared in 2004. They rushed to John Kerry, the war hero, and he got spit out like so much Swiss cheese after that process. And I think this time they came around and they voted their conscience. This was a bottom-up thing, man. You had folks, old people showing up at the polls, rapping around the block. It was different, and it was special. And what I heard and what I saw, and especially in that speech, brother looked like a president. Not like a TV president or presiding over a country in ruins or getting shot at on 24, because that's what they do when they have fake black presidents, but a real president who happens to be black. And he came with that strong message. And I felt for a rare moment in my life like an actual American. I'm used to feeling like somebody who lives in America. And I don't know if this is true of other black folks, but it's true for me. But when he talked about the one nation, when he talked about these things, I was moved. I actually felt like a part of the country for a minute. So I'm excited about him. I'm not messianic about him. I hope that mostly what he can do is get us to jump into the political process again and participate. That we're not just trying to get him to solve all our problems, that we're trying to get involved in the process again and fix this country our damn self. So those are some of the things I would have said. Thank you guys for listening. Forward it to your friends, whatever. I'm Baratunde Thurston, comedian, author, vigilante pundit. Peace.